A very good afternoon to one and all. On behalf of the institution's Innovation Council team of Westcop, I, Aaron Tates, welcome you all for today's session. The Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell has envisioned encouraging the creation of institutions' innovation councils across all higher education institutions. In this regard, the IIC cell of Westcop was formulated in 2018 to foster an innovation culture and ecosystem among the students and faculties. It promotes the activities of young innovators in the organization. Through this cell, the students are encouraged to develop an entrepreneurial mindset through experiential learning. Initiatives like idea and innovation competitions, hackathons, workshops, seminars, conferences, exhibitions, mentoring by academic and industry personnel, awards and recognition are routinely organized. It has received a 4-star ranking for an outstanding performance in MHRD's IC activities for the year 2018 and 2019 and 2020-2021. A result of the efficiency of the IIC cell was that our parent trust, Vivekananda Education Society, stood in the bracket of the 26th to 50th rank in the Atal ranking of institutions on innovation achievements, abbreviated as ARIIA, for the year 2019, under the finance and private institutions category. Westcop has been on the forefront in nurturing innovation by creating systems conducive to the growth of new ideas. Necessity is the mother of invention, and thus, for any innovation, identifying this need is very important. The institution has created an ecosystem for innovations and has various initiatives as follows for the creation and transfer of knowledge within that ecosystem. The titles for this afternoon's sessions are number 1, Patent Literature Search, and number 2, how to plan for startup and legal and ethical steps. Before we move on with the session, I would like to introduce Dr. Mrs. Supriya Shidar, the principal of VES College of Pharmacy on this occasion. Madam is a chairperson of the Board of Studies, University of Mumbai. She is our guiding star and spirit, which is surely admirable. She has over 28 years of teaching and research experience. She has presented more than 50 papers in various national and international journals. With her vast experience in research and academics, she has always guided and enlightened us. She is a lady who believes to lead by her own example. She has received a total research grant of 1 crore 5 lakhs 98,000 rupees from various government bodies and pharmaceutical companies till date. She has many national and international publications and presentations to her credit. She is also a certified yoga teacher. In this COVID era, we are constantly moving ahead and trying to adapt and evolve under her superb guidance and constant motivation. I now request our principal madam to address the audience and share her valuable guidance.
Good afternoon, one and all, and thank you, Aaron, for your kind words. At the outset, I would like to welcome our speakers of the day, Dr. Rahul Kapoor, founder, Turnip Innovations, Dr. Sangamesh Puranik, founder and CEO, Saskia Labs Private Limited, and I would also like to congratulate the organizers, Institutions Innovation Council of VS College of Pharmacy, President Dr. Mushtaq, Vice President Dr. Anita Aire, and the coordinators for the today's webinar, Dr. Chaitali Surve, Mr. Pratik Barve. And I'm really very happy to know that you have selected right topics for this webinar. Institutions Innovation Council. As the name indicates, it talks about lot of innovations that are happening around, and your agenda or objective of the cell is to encourage these innovations and set up that research and innovation ecosystem so that more and more innovative ideas are being thought of, and people are trying hard to develop a prototype which can be further converted into a business. So the whole ecosystem is being set by our IIC, and sessions like today's session are going to definitely add value in training our students to become tomorrow's research scientists and innovators. Now, our BS College of Pharmacy has master's branches in pharmaceutics, quality assurance, and pharmaceutical chemistry, and PhD branches in pharmaceutics and pharmaceutical chemistry. So it goes without saying, lot of research is happening in this institution. But our students at the level of education itself should know how important these ideas are when it comes to its protection. We need to protect our intellectual property, and we have to make sure that this particular property, the idea which we have thought of, can become tomorrow's business proposition, and that can not only help us in coming up with some breakthrough research, but also can give us lot of commercial benefits. So I think our first session, which is on patent and patent search, that is very important, and every student must listen to this session very carefully. Dr. Rahul Kapoor has his own company and he is working actively in this domain of patent. So I think we are going to get experts' advice through today's session. And in our next session, the speaker is going to definitely encourage each one of you to think differently and do not shy out from becoming uh, the job creator, and do not just have a thought in your mind that I have to serve to any organization. But if you have the caliber and if you have potential, you can definitely take a calculated risk and you can become an entrepreneur. You can have your own business. So I think this particular aim should not just remain as a dream, and everyone should try hard to make it happen in reality. So I think both these sessions are going to help us with respect to this particular agenda that IIC is having. So I wish all the best for these sessions. And over to you, Aaron. You can take the session forward. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for your kind and encouraging words as always. I'd like to inform you, dear participants, that there will be a Q&A session after every talk. Please feel free to type in your questions in the chat box, and the speaker will address your questions after they are finished with their talk. We will now move on to our first session on patent literature search. It's an honor and privilege to have amongst us Dr. Rahul Kapoor, the founder and director of Turnip Innovations. He has over a decade of experience in patent information science, teaching, searching and consulting multinational firms like General Electric and Robert Bosch. He obtained his PhD in Innovation Management from LUT University, Finland, and has over 15 research articles published in reputed international journals. He is the data architect of IPGRAM, a global patent analytics platform covering 100 million patents from over 100 countries. A very warm welcome to you, sir, and I'd like to invite you to take the session forward.
Thank you, Aaron. Really pleasure to be here. Talk about patent search. Patent search is something that we have done a lot in our career, and even at Turnip, we have done a lot of patent search for clients like clients abroad. We've done a lot of consulting projects which involved a lot of patent search. So earlier, I have also taken some webinars that were like covering patent search in a lot of detail. So if someone wants, they can contact me via the email address that is given on the slide, or I can send them the earlier link to an exhaustive, 2-hour webinar. So because in today's session we will not be able to cover every detailed aspect of patent search, but we will do enough to make sure that as an inventor you are adept at doing patent search that is needed for you to work on your invention or take it forward. So just one thing, Aaron, I would like to say is I have these slides, of course, but I have to occasionally switch to the eSpaceNet to show the patent search. So I would like to change my screen every few minutes. So just help me out there with the change of screen. But for now, it's fine. Uh, all right. So yeah, you can see my contact details. I hope it's clear in at the bottom of the screen. So rkapoor at ipgram.in. That is the my email address. So phone number, WhatsApp is here. So if you will write me, I can send you also some lectures, earlier YouTube lectures via email. All right. So patent search is actually very, very underrated. It is actually a tool that every inventor should know in order to be more innovative. Okay. So here are some reasons why patent search is very important. And actually, just saying it's very important, it's, people don't register it. But one of the key things is, to avoid reinventing the wheel. And it sounds very intuitive that, you should not do what has already been done, but that is what most researchers actually do. There is even like research that says that about 30% of global R&D is being wasted because, researchers, inventors, they just don't see what is out there and they start doing something. And then, after a long time, they realize that, somebody has already done it before. Okay. So people are wasting a lot of time. And so that is why I would say that, stay grounded when you have some ideas or when you are creating some, maturing some inventions. Stay grounded. Always have a lookout of what is going on in your field. Okay. Otherwise, it will be a bad surprise in the future. To avoid, inadvertently infringing others' patents. So that is also one very important thing. Why, you should do, say, if you just launch a product in the market, and if somebody else, some features of the product, are protected by a patent by someone else, you could be inadvertently infringing someone else, and that could lead to problems, depending on, how careful they are and how they are searching for products. So, like the big companies, they also do patent search to keep an eye on competitors and technological trends. Actually, it's also a very important uh, reason, and a lot of consulting work that we have done is because of this. Like big organizations, they actually want to, stay at the cutting edge of the technology where they are working. So they are asking professionals to conduct patent searches and tell them, who are the top competitors, which countries are, working on the same technologies, what are the alternative solutions to the same, alternative technologies that solve the same problem. So all these things, like for example, Google knows what Apple is doing. They have a team of patent analysts who will search, and they will be, aware of what other companies are doing, their competitors are doing. So just to stay ahead in the innovation curve. Okay. And then patent search is also great to learn from latest scientific knowledge. Actually, it is not just that you should do patent search just to find out whether you are, copying someone else or not, whether someone has already done something before or not. That's not the only reason. Actually, uh, as an inventor, the onus is on you to actually stay up to date on what is happening in your technology field. And by doing so, you are likely to, produce better stuff. I mean, you will be able to say, take some ideas from a few latest patents and, combine them together and to create something more innovative. So it is just a way to learn and get new ideas for your own inventions. So here it says to enrich your innovations and distinguish from prior art. So actually, patent search is also very important in order to show that you have done novel work, you have done, you know uh, you have done things that are very inventive. So in order to show that you are very inventive, you need to distinguish from prior art. That means you need to show that, okay, some patent document or some research paper or something in the past solved the problem in a certain way, which was not very efficient, and you have added certain, aspects to your own invention, and now you have significantly taken the field of science forward. Okay. So patent search acts, helps you make references to previous patents, so that you are able to showcase your novelty and inventive step, which are keys to, obtaining a patent. And finally, the amount of data is exploding. So 3.5 million plus patents are being filed every year. So that is how fast the patent databases are growing. And so, in order to find the relevant patents, it is a good skill to have, because not all patents are valuable and not all patents are relevant. So, you need patent searching skills even at an inventor level. You don't need to be a patent expert. Even as an inventor, you should have some patent search skills to find the needle in a haystack, as they say. All right. So moving on. So we are going to be using eSpaceNet today. Okay, eSpaceNet.com is a European Patent Office public database. It has 100 plus million patents, and it has data from 100 plus countries even. So we are going to use that for searching before the patents. But what information is out there? What information is out there? So if you see, if this is the front page of a patent document, and these are already some things which you can use to do patent search. Basically, filing date. It's also a good thing. It's also an important, say, search query you can make for searching patents. Just say that you want to see the latest patent. So you just say we want to see patents from 2020 onwards. Okay, so that could be, say, a search parameter even. And then you can also filter by countries, or put countries in your search, that like which countries the patent has been filed. You can search by the owner of the company. Just type, say, Toyota or General Electric, or Google, and so on, and you will find all the patents related to that company in your search. So title and abstract, of course, keyword search, that's the most important, and we are going to look at it first, actually, to do some quick and dirty patent searches. There is a concept of technical classification. If we have time today, we are going to discuss it and see how you can do very precise patent searches without any keyword searches, but just by, like, this is a format of a technology class. So you can see this is in the automobile domain. This is a self-driven car, autonomous driving vehicle, and these are the technology classes. So if it's a language independent way of searching for patents, and if it's also a very good skill to have to search with these, because sometimes the patent can be in a different language, and you might not know the keywords of certain. You might miss out some patents of certain other countries if you did not put the right keywords. So this way the tech classes help. You can search by the name of the inventors, and also you can search within claims and description to which is not shown here, but you can search it from there. All right. For today, if you want, I will do it. Obviously, I'll show it with these patent searches. But if you want, you can just open a new tab on your browser. Okay, and you should open this website if you want to do these exercises alongside. You should open this website, worldwide.espacenet.com. That's the European Patent Office patent database. It's free of charge, and it's comprehensive, and quite a fast tool to do patent search. So first, we are going to do a patent search with a patent number. Okay, we are just going to enter. We know the patent number. In this case, we know the patent number, and this is the patent number. And we are just going to search patent number. Okay, US 2006 026521. Okay. So yeah, if you are able to do it, please write on the chat the title of the patent document of Apple. Okay, I'll do it, of course, but if you want, you can write it in the comments, in the chat box or live chat, or and please write the title of the patent, so we know that some people are doing the exercises also. So just give me like 20 seconds or 30 seconds to switch my screen. I will go to the browser myself and open this website, worldwide.espacenet.com, and I'm going to search this number. Yeah. So this is how it looks. You can see here worldwide, or maybe you cannot see the URL on the screen, but yeah, this is espacenet.com. It's you can see here free access to 130 million patent documents, and I'm going to type the patent number that I just showed you, US 2006. Okay, and here goes. So you see, there's one patent which exactly matches the number, uh, and I'm going to open it. And yeah, you can see here, this is the title of the patent: gestures for touch sensitive input devices. Applicant, the owner is Apple Computer, and all these people are the inventors. You can see these classifications. These are the tech classifications I was talking about, and you can even click on them to see what they stand for. What is the so you can see digital computing or data processing method. So it's a very much oriented to data processing. It's a touchscreen patent, one of the oldest touchscreen patents of Apple, a very blockbuster patent. It was filed. You can see the priority filing was 2004, so 30th of July 2004. So back then, it was not a mainstream technology, this touchscreen. And you will see that they have created this. You can see the images here, that how say a user is interacting with the touchscreen, and for example, how the different planes are when they start to touch the screen, and how they are measuring at what place the user is touching the screen, and how they are processing the input. So you can see how they are making an estimate of exactly what point the user is trying to touch on the screen, and all the kinds of flow charts and processes, like how it interacts, and even how a user is interacting with the touch screen. So uh, so it's one of the great patents. It also sees if people are touching it multiple times, how not to take spurious touches, and even like something that is very common today, like the pinch zoom. You can zoom on the smartphone. Way back in 2004, they have defined it very clearly, and shown how users can interact or zoom out maps or images on the smartphone. So things which are very common today, but back then this was a very important patent. So yeah, you can see all the details about the patent, the full description of the patent, background, like the summary of the invention, and then the details and uh, description of drawings, and so on. The claims of the patent, the drawings we already saw here. You can also download the original document from here. Uh, Citations. So this patent has received a lot of citations, and so maybe it takes time to load, and all the legal events that have happened. So during the life of the patent, and all the other patents that are filed with the same invention. These are other publications in different countries, or in the same country in this case. So all right, okay. So we just did our first patent search. It was using the key. It was using the patent number. So you already had to know this patent number, right, for you in order to do this search. But what if say you are likely a startup, or you are likely you are a startup, and you are or you are an early stage inventor who is trying to find out whether they are novel or not. So you will actually not know the patent numbers. So we are going to do a quick and dirty patent search. So let me allow me a moment to show you my change my screen once again. All right, I think that should be visible now, huh? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah. So we will first learn, a quick and dirty patent search where there is no operators needed. Okay, this is a basic level of patent search that every inventor should know. Okay, so here all you have to do, actually you don't have to do anything. You don't need any technical, expertise of patent search in this here. So what you have to do is, we are going to again go to the espacenet.com. Okay, and we are going to type simply the technology phrase in the search box. Okay, and you will see how you can expand these searches also. So you can even go a little bit professional and a little bit narrow for doing this search. So I will do a search with this wind turbine, and I will show you how you can keep adding functions, keep adding features to your invention, keep adding objects, functions, so that you start giving details to your invention, and then start to narrow down on the most relevant pieces of prior art. So yeah, let me. So yeah, okay. I didn't see any comments, but yeah, if you still want, you can write that in the comments that you have done some search and the title of the earlier patent. That would be great. But yeah, let me again switch my screen to SpaceNet, and I'll show you the wind turbine related search. All right. So now we are going to remove this. So this is the search box. We are going to use this search box, uh, for the same. So let me just type wind turbine. Let's see what happens. So okay, suppose I'm an inventor in the field of wind turbine, and I just search this wind turbine. So you can see 243,000 hits, right? It's a lot. It's a lot, and likely no one can, go through these many documents to know about their invention. So uh, but the good thing is, what eSpace does is that it automatically sorts by relevance. So if you have like a very long query, it will make sure that the it calculates the term frequencies and all these, has its own algorithm to show only the most relevant patents at the top. So you will see that the ones at the top are likely to be the most relevant, and captures the essence of the keywords that you have added to your query. But still, it's a lot of patents here. Huh? And also, as an inventor, it is unlikely you are working in such a broad field of wind turbine. Okay, wind turbine is a very broad field. There's so many things. There's a generator. There's like the tower. There's all kinds of technical things related to wind turbines. Let's say you are working, say, on a wind turbine generator, a novel in wind turbine generator. So you can see what is already out there. So what I did was I added one more search term, basically wind turbine generator. So here I'm not adding any operators. You can see from 243,000 I have now 129,000. So my search got a lot more narrow, because I added the one more word, the generator. And again, the relevance of the search results, it kind of ensures that it captures these three words, and it shows me the most relevant patents in that regard. So again, I would even say that wind turbine generator is also a very, very, broad field of research. So if you are working in a, uh, electrical lab, you are likely doing something very precise in a wind turbine generator. Say you are working in the coils, or say you are working in certain, say the chassis, the frame. So a lot of different ways in which you can make better wind turbine generators. So suppose you're working in a field where you're trying to so wind turbine generators, when they operate, they produce a lot of heat. Okay, so suppose you are you are preparing a solution that cools down the generator while they are functioning, while they are operating. So suppose I just add the word cooling. Okay, so I want to see all the patents, basically, that solve the problem of overheating of generator while they are in operating mode. And so now you can see I added one more word, and from 129,000 it became 25,000. So already you can see that the number of hits become very narrow once you keep adding uh, more features and more technical aspects about your invention to your query. And likely the relevance score also now is working better, because of it is now getting more words to work with, and it is able to give you the patents that have that are solving this particular problem of of wind turbine generator cooling. Conducting, you can see here already. And the good thing about this eSpaceNet is also like you can keep quickly looking at the title and abstract of the patents and see whether they are interesting or not. And you can also like save it or note the ones that are interesting, so that you are able to. I think from here you can download with these three dots. You can download the patents to and if you think something can be interesting, you can also quickly see the description and the claims. So you are able to go down into more and more details and find more documents. So typically, if we do suppose a patent search, even to a slightly professional level, we iterate with different search queries. And then we look at, say, the top 20, 50 patents, and we are seeing whether the same patents are getting repeated or not, and then accordingly we're downloading. So wind turbine generator cooling. Suppose even it is possible to add more keywords. Suppose your cooling happens using water, okay, and there is a pump in the system that helps to circulate the water, okay. You can write the word circulate, or you can write whatever you have done. So now you can see you have come down to such a small level. Okay, you have only 1891 results, which are like way less from 243,000 we had from wind turbine only. So again, you can see water cooling system. So all now highly relevant patents that are in in your search results. Okay, so folks, this is one. I call this a quick and dirty patent search. This is not a professional patent search because you are missing out certain documents because of not adding synonyms and many kinds of things. But at a very early stage of the innovation process, when the stakes are not very high, for example, if a patent lawsuit is at stake, then the company usually hires a very professional patent searcher to make sure that to save them from the lawsuit. But in the very early stages, you want to validate your idea, and that is why I think that this kind of patent search is sufficient. I mean, you should be able to see at a general level what is out there, and of course, as you gain more skill, you will be able to search better, and find in, say, different databases to maybe not just a patent search, you do a publication search and other searches. So yeah. Okay, so one way, very very quickly, one trivia I can give you is, say, cooling can be coolant, cooled, all these variations of the word cool. And so I just added a wildcard. So it means anything after cool, it takes as a. So now this captures a few more patents. Okay, so you can see 1891, it increased a few more patents in your results, because we missed those out because we were using like cooling and cooled, coolant, and all these different kinds of other keywords are now captured. All right, folks. So that, I hope it's a very this is basic and this is very useful. Okay, so make sure when you are doing your research, when you are doing, say, your first patent search using your own technology, okay, make sure you add this kind of objects and functions. So wind turbine, what the object is like, say wind turbine. Function is like cooling, and all these things. So keep adding objects and functions. Wind turbine, generator, cooling, water pump, circulate. So anything. Maybe the cooling happens with air, or you can also account for that. All right, let's move on. If you have any questions, please feel free to write on the chat. Yeah, eSpaceNet. So you can see, I will again show you on the. So yeah, this is the website you can see here, worldwide.espacenet.com. So that's the European Patent Office website, who are maintaining the. Can you put my screen? Yeah, yeah, okay, great. So worldwide.espacenet.com. So this is where you can do, and you see I showed you the example of wind turbine, right? You can also put your own searches. Just say electric bicycle battery assembly, and you keep adding features. Battery assembly with what? So what does it achieve? For example, it prevents vibrations of the battery when it's on a rough road. Okay, so you can add those keywords here. Say electric bicycle battery assembly for dampening, for preventing vibration. So use those words and see what is coming in the search results. And the relevance score, actually, it's fairly good. And the first quick and dirty parent searches are definitely possible with 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 this method. So I'll show you some more methods. Basic operators. Okay, say if you want to take it to one more level, one level above your own patent searches. Uh, so we can also work with basic operators. So if anyone is doing these exercises, so we are again going to go to worldwide.espacenet.com, and we are going to count. What I would like you to do, if you are, if you have this website open, so go to this website, worldwide.espacenet.com, and count the number of hits. Basically, the hits are showing at the top, right? We just saw the number of hits with each query. So use these three different searches. Okay, fuel or cell, fuel and cell, and fuel cell in quotation marks. Okay, and just write on the chat how many hits you get from all these three different queries. Okay, that would be great. If someone is doing it, I would get some feedback that someone is doing this parent search, and yeah, and I will also do it. So we can also compare our number of hits. So to take it forward. So yeah, this is again, now we are going slightly above the quick and dirty parent search to give you some fundamental uh, knowledge of operators that we use. All right. So let me again switch the screen. So yeah, you can see here I wrote fuel as one word, and then or, which is an operator, and then cell. So I think what it does is fairly intuitive. So it is going to fetch, all patent documents that have any of these two words. So it can have fuel or it can have cell. So actually this 7.6 million, you can see it's a lot of hits, right? 7.6 million patents have either these two words, but the search doesn't make a lot of sense because it gives all the patents that are even having cell, and it also gives whether they are having fuel. So it's very broad, and it's not very useful, but it is good to know this because we might use it a bit. So now if I do it fuel and cell, now it makes more sense because now I'm going to fetch the documents that have both these keywords. Okay, fuel and cell. So both of them have to be in the patent document. So now you can see only 481,000. So compared to 6.7 million, this is like a very less, right? So you've narrowed your results accordingly. And the third, okay, let me just see if someone has written in the chat. Yes, fuel or cell, two hits. I'm afraid. Yeah. Okay, Pratik Barve. Perfect. 481,000. What about fuel cell with the quotation marks? Can someone write that? So I'll leave that to you. eSpaceNet, does it cover Indian patents? Anand. So actually not. It's not very good coverage. So they do have some patents, but they are a bit old patents, I think, and definitely they don't have a very good repository of Indian patents. So yeah, unfortunately no. So the thing is, the Indian Patent Office is not reporting to them in a reliable way to the European Patent Office. So and that's why Indian patents are not there. For Indian patents, the best place to search is actually the Indian Patent Office website. So you have to go to this public search of Indian patents in the Indian Patent Office website, and then search there. Yeah. Okay, Pratik Barve. Good. Good. You are correct. So now you see, when you put it in the quotation marks, it's just like the fuel cell. The two words have to be the two words have to be together. So when you put fuel and cell, both fuel and cell should be there, but it can be anywhere in the patent document, right? But here fuel cell, that is why your results from 481,000, it became a bit narrow. So 296,000. So, folks, I can tell you that when you scale this method of using the simple operators to, go one level up, all you have to do for conducting professional patent searches, all you need to do is actually scale this or and all these operators, and you will be able to do professional patent search. So, let me give you another example. Okay, for that I'll have to go back to the my PowerPoint slides. But yeah, if there's any questions, are there any other operators besides or and? Yes, there are operators. So I can give you a list of all the operators. But these are the most basic. So not is one operator. You can use a not operator to remove a certain word. So yeah, I can show you the list of all these operators. All right, yeah. Feel free to write the comments, write the questions in the chat, and we can try. Fuel, not cell. So again, yeah, you can see it has the word fuel, but it does not have the word cell. Okay, so earlier we had 7.6 million when we had fuel or cell. That means both words had to be there. But now fuel word has to be there, but cell is not there. So it's 2.4 million. And yeah, in order to know all the operators, actually, I would show you, since we are here, I don't want to switch the screens very quickly. So here is a help section. You can see there's a help section. And there's this pocket guide within the help section. There's a pocket guide. So open that guide, and let's see, maybe it opens in the same browser tab which is shared. Let me see if it's yeah, okay, you can see it. And yeah, you can see, so these are not operators, these are called field identifiers. So field identifiers is like, suppose you want to search in all the text fields, but suppose you want to search only in the title of the patent. So you can write TI equal to mousetrap. So in the title so it will search all the patents who have mousetrap word in the title of the patent, or abstract of the patent, or description claims. So these are field identifiers. Let me see the operators. Truncations. Yeah, operators is here. Sorry, I was right next to this. And you can see and or not, the Boolean, the very most common Boolean operators are there. And then, so actually, I have done a detailed rundown of all these, operators and these things in a earlier webinar. So please feel free to write to me if you want the whole, YouTube video of that. So yeah, you can also do proximity, like distance, like how far the word like if you have the two words safety belt. Okay, so safety and belt in a car, maybe they have to be together within 5 words of each other, and so on. So yeah, it has given you with the mousetrap example. And yeah, the comparison operators greater than for publication date. So these are the dates. PA is patent applicant or patent assignee. And yeah, within can also be used. So it can give a range, publication date range. So yeah, I think as you understood, the most important operators are these or and not. If you can scale this, we will actually, before I end the session, I will talk about this scaling this or and or not operator, so that you get an understanding and take it one level up. All right. Okay. Great, folks. Pratik and Piyush, good to see that you have written the results on the chat. So yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to write. Meanwhile, I'll go back to my slides and yeah, so that we check out the operators and all right. So we did this basic search or and the and the not also. So, but if you want to take it one step further, like what professional patent searchers do, okay, what they are doing that makes them so that companies are paying so much for patent search also. And so yeah, so basically there's a lot of patent jargon. So when you are in that field, actually you know about those jargon and everything. Okay, so Spring, for example, is mentioned as energy storage means. So if you just write Spring, you might lose a lot of patent documents, and because a lot of them just mention energy storage means. Even for battery, they say energy storage device instead of just the battery. So if you search, say, using the keyword battery, you might miss out some patent documents that are having just energy storage device. Similarly, you can see some couple of more examples. Plurality of balls, unmanned aerial vehicle, very common, UAV. Unmanned aerial vehicle, you have to search for drones. And cooling, we did cooling, right? So in a lot of documents, actually, they will not write cooling. So our patent search was, that is why a bit short. It had some shortcomings. So it can be heat transfer, it can be heat exchanger, it can be heat, conducting or something like that. So it is best to have your bases covered. If you want to do a professional search, make sure that all these synonyms you are adding. So what I am saying basically is usually this object and function kind of approach, where you separate the object and the function. For example, cooling of rotors in electric machines. The whole problem that you are solving is cooling of rotors in electric machines. So here, rotor is the object and cooling is the function. So in every invention, there will be an object and there will be a function. So you separate them using the AND operator. So rotor and cooling. Okay, that's it. Rotor and cooling will give you a good set of hits. So you can try it, since if you have spacenet open, you can write rotor and cooling and see how many hits you get. And then you can keep expanding it, just like what we did earlier. Wind turbine, generator, we kept adding it. So actually we were not adding the AND operator, but SpaceNet was adding AND operator by default. Okay, so when you just give a space bar, when you give us blank space, it is considered as an AND operator. So that's what it was doing. So you can see primary object, but and secondary object and primary function, and say the primary object is rotor, and say another object is coil. So it's also, you have something to do with the coil. And cooling is the main function, but there's another function like it prevents the leakage of oil or prevents the leakage of certain cooling fluid. So you can have a query like this: rotor and coil and cooling. And so you see what we are doing. We are just putting the AND operator. Once we need synonyms, so add synonyms. If you see here, once you need synonyms, you can see, okay, rotor or stator, both we want. Okay, they are like, say, let's say, used as a synonym here. So we put a bracket and then we say rotor or stator. So this is the primary object. Then we put an AND coil, an AND cool. Along with cool, we put also heat transfer or heat transfer. So within the brackets, we are putting the OR operators. And so yeah, if the more AND operators you put, the more narrow your search will get. The more OR operators you put within these groups, more expanded your search will become. So, okay, so just quickly one exercise, the last exercise for the day, to put this in action, what we just learned here, this and an OR. So this is the problem. Okay, this is a simple exercise. So I'll do it also with you. So creating high efficiency fuel cells requires proper cooling to ensure the fuel cell system runs consistently. So yeah, basically your objective is to search eSpaceNet for fuel cells in vehicles with cooling arrangement. Okay, so fuel cells in vehicles with cooling arrangement. So there are three concepts here. Fuel cells is one concept, vehicles is one concept, and cooling arrangement is another concept. Okay, so you can see each and every concept you can do by AND operator. Fuel cell and vehicle and cooling, and then you can say add the star with the wildcard, and you can also put possible synonyms within groups. So fuel cell and vehicle or automobile, and cool or heat transfer. So try it and write the query and the number of hits in the comments so that I know that some people are doing it. So let me go back. I'll try to show this to you in action. Right. So here is the first concept, fuel cell. Okay. So 296. We already did it. 290. And then I added this thing, right? Let's say cooling. And even if I did not put the AND operator, I just say remove it. You can see the number of hits is the same because by default, eSpaceNet is putting an AND operator when you are using a blank space. And then what was it? Vehicle, right? So yeah, so there are these three concepts: fuel cell and cooling and vehicle. I've added all of these, and we got 39,000 uh, 39,000 results. Okay, so now instead of vehicle, you will see I will make a group out of this. Okay, uh, this concept I will make a group out of it and put, so that I don't lose any patents where automobile is mentioned instead of vehicle. So this is how this is going to work. So you can see from 30,000, 39,000, I think it became 42,000. So 3,000 more hits were captured because I expanded the search. So similarly, earlier I put a wildcard here. So this also wildcard acts as a OR operator because you are putting cool, cooling, coolant, everything together. So now also again, it will slightly expand the search. So from 42,000 to even 50,000, so significant expansion. And yeah, so on, folks, you can experiment with this on your own. And if you have any questions, please write on the chat. Okay, and I will see the chat. And 55,713. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, very good. Very good. Chat Ali Survey. Yeah. Fuel cell, Aaron, yeah, fuel cell and vehicle and cool 67,000. Yeah. One more trivia I can show you if you want. Say, if you think you have done a precise patent search, there is a three dots over here, or maybe not here. Maybe filters. Yeah, the filters toggle. You can see here, and once you click on these filters, you have also a lot of ways to narrow down your search. Okay, say you can just click on Japan has 33,000 patents, US has 27,000, China, and so on, Europe. So you can narrow down your hits, number of hits, using many different filters. So you can even search, and one great thing also is this view chart and graph. Okay, you click on this and you can already use some of these charts in your research papers or in your reports or anything. So you can see, okay, this takes from the earliest patent it has found, but let's say you don't want to search the latest patents, so because sometimes they are not published. So let's say I want the last 20 years or 20 years. So you can see you can already get a line trend, right? You've got a line trend of the patenting activity in the fuel cells. So you can see there was a big drop. Actually, it was true. Back in 2008, there was a big hype on fuel cells. There was this talk that it will change the automobile industry forever, but that never really happened. So there were some genuine issues with that that did not happen. So I think there should be applicants also. Yeah, you can see also these applicants. these applicants are not very harmonized. So you can see Toyota is here, and then at number 4 again Toyota is here. So you have to manually actually clean the data. So I think you can download the data also. So you can download the data from here, and you get an Excel sheet with the top 100 applicants. So you might have to manually clean it to get a more correct picture and redo the graph. You redo the charts in Excel on your own. But yeah, this was a quick trip for building even like some charts and intelligence out of your searches. So okay, folks, I think that we are a bit on time. So if you have some last questions, I can answer these questions. And yeah, otherwise, feel
Yes,
free
sir.
to use the pocket guide. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
please.
Rahul, sir, we have a few questions. I'll pop it up on the screen as well. But firstly, our principal ma'am has one question, that why did you use those brackets in the search bar?
To create a group out of that. So, for example, vehicle. Vehicle is a concept. Okay, for me, vehicle, I took it as a concept. So but vehicle can also be automobile, can be car, can be truck, and all these, all these together I am taking as one concept. That is why I put all these different keywords within that one concept. So you can see it's actually on the screen already. So first I'm doing and on all the concepts. So fuel cell is one concept, cooling is one concept, and vehicle is one concept. Uh, but what I did was I expanded the concept of vehicle by putting a bracket, and then or I can even put or car or truck, so that my search becomes more accurate, so that I don't lose any patent documents if I suppose it only says car, it does not say vehicle or automobile. So this search will miss out those patents. So that was the reason, to add the so that we can add the synonyms.
Yes, yes. Thank you, sir. So the question is popping up on the screen as well, if you can answer that.
Free patent databases, should we limit to one patent database or should we look into multiple database? Uh, yeah, Google Patents and eSpaceNet both are very, very good. They are fairly comprehensive. They are free, and they do the job. I would say that for early stage innovation, if inventors have to, validate their own research, um, it's quite enough. Both these patent databases. Okay, you can search Indian Patent Office also, public search in Indian Patent Office website to supplement the research. But whether you should do it in one or multiple, I would say multiple, because just to validate yourself, right? Okay, so if you want to be a bit more accurate, you want to validate your results, you should do it in multiple databases. But if you are in an early stage, you want to do like a quick and dirty search, this is enough. Just do it in one database to get an overall feel of the of the tech field. Does it mean that we have a product or process outside of the patent's geographical limit? So this patent search that we are doing global search. So eSpaceNet is having patent documents from about 100 countries. Okay, so we did not do any, we did not assign any country. Suppose I put Japan and I put, say, apply it in the query online. So you can see here, then my results became a bit narrow, right? Now I only see Japanese patents. But actually, I don't know if this was your question. If a chemical procedure is mentioned in a patent, can we use it for our research? Can we use it? Okay, now I get it. So you mean to say you cannot use it because it is patented? I think using it should not be a problem for non-commercial work. So yeah, you could be able to use it. So if you have a specific question, please write to me. I will actually forward it to our patent advisor. Okay, at Turnip, and yeah, this way it would be better. If it's a legal thing, we should answer it that way.
Sure, sir, we'll do that. Over to you, Aaron.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing this valuable information with us. I'm sure the participants, along with being introduced to patent literature search, have also gained a better insight into it. And I'm sure that both our M-Farm students and our B-Farm students will have a better sense of direction when they are scouting and searching for patent literature. Thank you so much, sir, once again.
Great, great. Thank you. So if you see my screen for one last time, I have my contact details. So if you want, please write to me. If you want, say the Google patents. If you are interested in Google patents, again, I did a 2-hour lecture on Google patents. So I'll just send you the link of the webinar that we did on Google patents, and also the eSpaceNet, a lot more in detail. With the, I already showed you the pocket guide. You can use the proximity operator and so on. And yeah, all right, thank you everyone. Great that you were interested in asking these questions, and I wish you good luck, and yeah, happy to see you in future events.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.
We will now move on to our second session of this afternoon, and its title is How to Plan for Startup and Legal and Ethical Steps. A very warm welcome to Dr. Sangamesh Puranik, founder and director of Saskia Labs Private Limited. Dr. Sangamesh is a pharma professional with 21 years of experience in various fields of pharma, food quality, and regulatory affairs. He has an expertise in market authorization applications, small molecules, novel biologicals, and biosimilar products, CT applications, food and dietary health supplements, controlled drug substances, and etc. He is also the founder and program director of Drishti Institute of Distance Learning, Bangalore since 2011. And he is also the founder and CEO of Masanga Laboratories Private Limited. He has previously worked as the head of regulatory affairs at Anthem Bioscience Private Limited. He is the president of Association of Regulatory Affairs Professionals, New Delhi, and a life member of APTI. Without further ado, sir, I welcome you and I invite you to take over this session.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Today we are discussing about a very, very hot topic where majority of the people are discussing about the startups now. India is a startup hub and it ranks third in the entire world. First is US, China, second, and third is India. And we should appreciate the efforts of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, who has made the startup India in 2016, and he has given various benefits and tremendous fast track approvals in terms of IPRs and patents, which boosted the moral support of all the startups in India. That is why many startups are coming every day. Minimum 2 to 3 applications, 2 to 3 startups will be registered in India. That is the main reason why earlier patent used to issue in 4 to 5 years, 3 to 6 years. It takes time. But now, due to fast track approval of patents and IPRs in the startups, that is the main reason. And one more thing, major uh, benefits rebate, that is 80% fees is reduced for the startup companies. That is why, and a lot of funding schemes are available, lot of incubators, lot of mentors, lot of, they have made very, very systematic way to start the startups, and Indian government is helping in the big way to support the startup. That is why many people are starting the startups and they are successful. Even majority of the companies, they have reached the unicorn. That is, when a startup reaches the $1 billion valuation, it is called as unicorn. Maybe our Indian companies like our pharmacy, then our Flipkart, then many of the Indian startups have reached this stage. So before going to the actual presentation, these are the things. So we should be proud. We are in the third stage in the startup hubs, and we have 12 to 16 unicorns in a year. So that is very, very impressive. And almost all the youngsters, It is a very good boost to start up your own ideas. See, before starting any startup, you should have an idea. Idea is a potent seed which has the capacity to grow into a big oak tree. But if it is not properly sown or put in the proper climatic conditions, it won't lead to a big tree. So just like that, our ideas should be properly incubated at particular incubation centers. A lot of incubation centers are available now. So we have to be with the right people at right time. Definitely India is doing wonders, and there is no doubt in becoming India as the country of job providers instead of job seekers. In that way, Indian government and Indian startup India is giving the stage for all the startup innovators to reach that stage, and we are doing very big things, and majority of the innovative things are happening in India, and we are in the right direction. It is said that right direction is important than the speed can be accelerated anytime when we have the fuel to speed up the process. Now I'll share my presentation. We'll start the actual presentation. Can you see the screen? Hello?
No, sir. No, sir. We are not able to see the screen yet.
Just sorry, some interruption is there. Give me a minute. Not
No, sir.
hello.
Sir, तिकडे खाली एक share plus screen आहे का? Share plus or something.
Yeah.
You just need
Okay.
to click that, I think, and then your entire screen.
Okay. Just a minute. Now? Oh,
No, sir. खाली
हो
तिकडे
सर.
share मध्ये गेल्यावरती share your entire screen येत आहे का तुम्हाला?
share entire screen and do it.
Share screenचं तिकडे एक ऑप्शन येत आहे का तुम्हाला खाली अगोदर?
See, I'm using this one for the first time. Usually, I was used to this Zoom
Yes,
link.
yes.
Shall I share the presentation to you? To
Yes,
your
sir. No problem.
email ID?
Absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah, I'll do
absolutely.
that. Just give me a minute. I'll share that one.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Sorry, some issue is happening. Can I close it and can I hurry?
Yes, dear participants, our speaker will join in a minute.
Dear participants, I would just like to remind you that feel free to write any questions in the chat box, and the Q&A session will happen after Dr. Sangameshan's and Mithal's session. This session is for you. Please feel free to write down any questions in the chat box.
Yeah, presentation.
Yes, sir. I got the presentation. I'm just sharing my screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry for the
Sir,
interrupt. Hello. Yes.
yes. I'll share my screen, sir. And if you want
Yeah.
to, if you want me to change the slide, you can just tell me, and then I'll just click on
Yeah.
the next slide.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
I'll just share my screen. Just.
Yeah. Sorry for the interruption, because no, this is I am used with Google Meet and this one Zoom meeting, so this is a new experience for me. Yes. Yeah. Can I start? Yes. Today's presentation is on how to plan for startups and its legal and ethical aspects. I'm audible?
Yes, sir,
Yeah.
you are audible, and the
Yes.
screen is
Thank you.
visible.
Thank you. Yeah. And before going to the startups, see why we have to start a startup. See that main motto. See, blessings in disguise. See, every adversity comes with equal opportunity. During our COVID lockdown, majority of the startups have been started. That is where India is becoming very prominent in the startups, because if you have any idea, you have, and there is a need in the world, or need in the society, so that if you can connect that problem to the, and if you create a innovative solution to the problem which is there in the society or in the world, so if the idea can be converted into any inventive steps, and if it is technology driven, then it can be easily scaled up to the extent, and it can become a unicorn or a big mega project in the world, like our Indian unicorns like a Flipkart, Paytm, Razorpay, Meesho, Farmizi, and many are there. So please go on. Next slide, please. Yeah. What is a startup? A startup is any newly established group company to solve a basic problem. When the founders find that something is missing in the society, then they can create a product or service that is formed by the startups. Most of the startups are having innovative and unique ideas from the rest of the people. So that is why they will look for a startup with the help of Startup India, and they can go to the other things. Yeah. Next slide. See, with the growing job opportunities in India, and Indian government has played a very vital role in becoming the youngest companies grow with sustainable in the Indian market. See, the main startup India was started in the year 2016 by Narendra Modi ji. So it has promoted, and it has given a lot of benefits to the startup companies. That is why where India is looking toward the startups. The overall motive of startup is to provide a path for products and services to make them resourceful and innovative. With this scheme, the main primary agenda for the startup India is to generation of employments and the creation of wealth. So, Startup India has started a program with strong aim to give the economic transformation in the India. See, India is, because of startups and the government initiatives, it is converting India into a job seeker country to the job provider country. So it is very, very important to know how to start the startups. Next, please. See, the first startup in India, in the whole world, was started in the IBM is also a startup in the year 1991. So like that, Apple is also a startup in the initial days. Microsoft, your Google, all these are the startups in the initial days. Even big pharma companies like Biocon, it has started in a garage with 10,000 rupees funds. Even Sun Pharma has started with the small R&D center. So like that, each and all the small things have started in a big way. Even the Google was started by the two founders, Brin and the Pages. It was their PhD project. So that they thought that it is having potential. So they have converted that their project into a big company and launched all those project, mainly the search engine optimization. So it was a big revolution happened in the entire world. So now Google is there, Apple, so many. Earlier, these are even including IBM. These are all the startups. They have the vision that yes, this is working and it is having a great opportunities in future. So the startup people should be very, very innovative and think ahead of the future. What the world, what the what is required in the next 10 years. So if you think like that ahead of the time, so you are in the right direction to start your own thing. Yeah. See, startups, those days it is called as a startup or a dot-com bubble. See, when the internet era started, that is the major revolution. In 1991, India entered into the privatization, liberalization act, and all those things. So, under the able guidance of Dr. Manmohan Singh, the economist. So that is the major change. What happened during 2000? No, almost all the companies, the softwares, everything has started. So that era is also called as internet era or bubble.com. Next, see, recently this India is in the third position of startup hubs, and this is said that it is in third position. With this, it said the entrepreneurship spirit lies in the blood of Indians. Now, India is in the third top position and it is having many unicorns. Unicorn means the startup companies which had the valuation of 1 crore. So, India is in the third stage. First is US, China, and India. Next, please. So what is unicorn? See what they will do, what special they will do during the reaching to the $1 billion valuation. To be a unicorn is not a cakewalk, and each unicorn has its own story for the great success. That is called as disruptive innovation. See, mostly all the unicorns have brought a disruption in the field, whatever they do. For example, Geo, it has done a total massive disruption in the field of telecommunications and almost all the competitors. It has created a blue ocean strategy. So, like Ola, Uber, they have created a lot of changes in the this people taxi systems. Everything has been changed. So they know. See, the idea should be driven by the technology. Then only it will grow at the fastest rate, and we have tremendous success. So these almost all the unicorns which they have achieved a tremendous success. They have created idea which is scaled up and it is supported by the technology. It is driven by the technology. That is where massive success can be achieved. So they are also seeing keep innovation up running to stay ahead of the competitors. See, they are dependent on highly on the technology. Another common trends across the world, they depend upon the their business models runs on technology, not on the manpower. That is why there will be massive growth, exponential growth will be there when you take the support of your internet-based technology or social media. So anything can be done. At exponential growth will be seen in such type of unicorns. Yeah. Next, please. Next slide. Yeah. A report suggests that 80%, 87% of the unicorns products are softwares, 7% are hardwares, and 6% are products and other services. So they are majorly dependent upon the technology, software technology. So that is why we are seeing massive growth in the unicorns or the startup companies. Consumer focused, 62% of the unicorns are this one, they are mainly concentrated on B2C, business to customer. Customers are the companies. Their goal is to simplify and make things easy for consumers and be a part of their day-to-day life. Keeping things affordable is another highlight of these startups. For example, Spotify for listening the music. It has made it very very easy for anywhere you can access to any type of music in the entire worldwide. So privately owned companies, that is, most of the unicorns are privately owned, which get their valuation bigger when big companies are the outside investors invest their funds in the private companies. See, the top unicorns in India are Flipkart. It is an e-commerce platform founded in 2007 by two friends, Binny Bansal and Sachin Bansal. It has grown to tremendous growth to $15 billion. So with that massive growth, see, even the Infosys and big companies took long time or over decades to grow to that stage. But the e-commerce platform, where they started selling all the electronic goods and other goods through their e-commerce platform, there is a massive growth because they have used the technology to drive their business. That is why they have grown massively. Paytm, bill payment enabler, which was founded by Vijay Shekhar in 2010. Then Razor Pay, it is a digital payment which is mostly used by almost all the e-commerce platforms. It is easy and convenient and very cheap when compared to other digital payments. So it was one of the startup from the Bangalore-based fintech startup founded by Harshil Mathur and Shashank Kumar. So they know how to drive the things. So it is all technology driven. That is why all are going at high speed. One more, that is Misho. This is the only platform, reselling platform, where they have connected multiple manufacturers to sell their products online through social media marketing like Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. See, in in today's era, network is the net worth. If you have a fantastic network, you can do any type of business. So creating a database of the customers is very very important, and that is how Geo was acquired by, Geo was partnered by the WhatsApp group. So like that, many Indian companies are doing wonders, and they are at the in par with the any worldwide businesses or the startups. So India is doing massive services in case of all the things. One more unicorn, this is Pharmacy. Actually, it is a service provider. Okay, it used to collect diagnostic sample. It is a diagnostic samples, then your teleconsultation, medicine deliveries. Now it has grown very big. Next, please. One is cred. See, this credit is only rewarding the individuals who will pay the credit card bill in the timely manner. This is how once you see, they know how to use the technology. Then urban company, it has done wonders in the COVID times. Many customers, it has over 5 million customers right now. The COVID, they have taken this situation as their platform, and they approached almost all the household things for many type of these beautician work and other things. One Jita, this is a neo banking platform for the issuance of credit card. It is also reached this unicorn club in 2021. Bharat Pay is the first Indian UPI QR code for all merchants. All type of small merchants, if you go to any deep store or kirana shop or vegetable vendors, milk vendors, they will be having this UPI QR code payment. That is where India is gearing up in the digitalization also. We are doing the wonders. Even small merchants, small shops, everywhere you can pay. your Google Pay, Bharat Pay, Paytm, any type of payment is become very easy, and it is growing in the exponential growth. That is why they are using the technology as it is a technology that is driving with massive speed. Okay, next. Yeah. Now, by seeing all these things, what they did, our top 10 unicorns in India, what they did, they have used their idea, they have identified the problem, they have linked that idea and their solution to the technology. And the technology is driving force, which is taking their growth at the massive speed. So, if you want to start anything, we should link all the three, your maybe your idea and what innovation you are bringing, what is the need of the world. If it is driven by a technology, then you are in the right place, so you can do wonders. So any sector for food, pharma, in it maybe e-commerce or technology, anything technology. See, idea is like a potent seed where we can generate a lot of things. See, many people will start the startups with different opinion, maybe to, if they don't like the job, they may leave the job and start startups. If they want to make money, if they have any good idea or a good technology, they can go for this startups. And one more thing, which problem? See, first you have to identify a problem, then find a innovative solution for that, which is in the scalable model, and it should be driven by the technology. Then only your models will be success. So by seeing the earlier top 10 unicorns, so it is very easy for us to plan our ideas. So what exactly we have to look into the things before starting the startups. Startup is a business entity which brings innovation in the product, process, services, and any business model. Next, please. What are, see, before starting, what are the basic things we have to do, or we have to brainstorm before starting a startup? Problem analysis. We have to do the SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. That we have to do the analysis. We have to find our passion, in which we are good at, what are the skills we are having, what we love to do, whether you are good in technology, you are good in sales, marketing, you are good in R&D. So based on that, we have to take up such a problem where we can give the innovative solutions, what we are good at, what are our skills, comfort and convenience, whether we are giving technological solutions or socio-economical issues, we are giving any solutions. See, some basic characteristics for the people who want to start a startup are, they should be emotionally very strong, and they should have the attitude of bounce back. That means they should never give up. See, startup, you are taking a big challenge, lot of issues, lot of hurdles, lot of challenges will be there. We have to accept all those things. We have to move on. So we have to try and fail, but don't fail to try. That attitude you should have before starting anything. One more thing, see, as a startup, you should not hire as many as people. See, don't think hiring is very easy, but the smart CEOs or the small startup people, what they will do, hire slow and fire fast. Don't hire if not required, because try to maintain at less expenses, then only it will be a sustainable model. So the CEO should keep eyes open, must work harder than the employees 24 bar 7. See, a CEO must be a jugado. That means he should know and he should work for 24 hours. He has to do everything and anything, whatever is required to run the company. Don't think, see, initially we can't hire all the people. There will be no legal guys, there will be no financial guys, there will be no IPR guys. So they have to do multiple tasking. That is why it is very risk. So we have to take a lot of risk. Then only we have to move on. It is said that road of success is always under construction. So we are building a successful road means a lot of problems will come, and to build a successful road, we should have A, B, C, D. These are the four basic pillars, where A stands for ability, B stands for belief, C stands for commitment, and D stands for dedication. If you have all these four pillars with you, you can create any type of wonders in the world. So, as a CEO or the startup person, anyway, anyone, your mindset should be so strong. You should overcome anything. Whatever the problem will come, just you have to look for the solutions and you have to move on. And 80% mindset and 20% skill sets. Skills people you can hire, but the mindset of the owner should be very, very strong. Whatever it may come, you have to overcome. That is why it is said that adapt and overcome. You have to overcome the problems, then only you will achieve the success. Next, please. So now we'll come to the actual basic topic, today's uh, topic, how to plan a startup. So what are the things we have to look into before starting any small company or any type of things? See, what is startup? A company started with few people, one or two people, or one or two partners, and which is uh, less than 5 years from the date of initiation. The recent new companies below 5 years are called as startups. In terms of biotechnology, other products, till 7 years it is accepted. But any company started with less funding and one or two partners is called as a startup. So anybody can start if you have an idea. Then and to solve the problem of the world. If requirement is there, see, Dhirubhai Ambani told that innovation is not required to make any profit. So we should have the mindset. Then only we can do wonders. So you have to prove that it is required. See, even there is a basic difference between need and want. We need a car. It may be Alto or small car can be nano car will serve purpose. Want is different. I want Mercedes, Benz, Audi. So there is a difference between need and want. So we have to make people to use our see like Ola, Uber now. All people are using. It has become they have made your mindset so that you have to be used for that trend. So they will create such a revolution. So all people will accept and use it. So these are the basic plans. No, no. Please, earlier said, please. Yeah. See, define your segment in which area you want to go, whether food, technology, e-platform, e-commerce, or what you any type of changes you are going to do it. Now you have to select your target audience, whether it may be cosmetics, any type of area you have to target your target audience. You have to select where I have to focus my target and reason whether you want to focus in your particular area or one district, pan India, or domestic or export. So we have to target the reason where you want to sell our technology, product, or process. Demand of your product or service, you have to survey. See, market analysis and market survey is very, very important before taking up any new projects. That's very important. So will it to be useful whatever you develop, your idea or a product or a process or a technology what you are developing during the in the startup, whether it is useful for after next 5 years. So you should plan for the next 5 years. It is a project plan. You have to do it. And what is your USP of your product? That is unique selling precursor or the selling point. So we have to define that one. So then we have to take care of the competitors. Who are your core competitors? So how to tackle with them, or how you have to price your products or the services in the competitive world. Marketing strategies, you have to have a marketing team to sell your product or services. So you should plan for the marketing strategies. Or if you are not capable of marketing, you have to hire, or you have to you find a one more co-founder who is good in digital marketing, is a technical guy, or you hire you join with another co-founder who is good at sales and marketing. So if this is co-creation, you can't do all the things. One director can't do all the things. Or hire people if you are capable of this maintaining the financials at the earlier stage, or go with the people, give some percentage equity in your company. So like that, like-minded people you can join together and you can do wonders. So your product, service, development, and phases, all these are the initial things what we have to see, look into carefully and evaluate all these things before starting a startup. Next, please. See, startup process. So how it starts? Pre-startup, startup and growth. So there are three stages. So during the pre-startup, you should have an idea. You have to idea validation, idea verification, then your market analysis, legal foundation. That is, you have to form a company. It may be private limited, LLP, or partnership. So you have to complete your all the legal formalities in the Ministry of ROC, in the MCA portal. You have to register a company. See, don't think you can't do everything. It's not required. You can hire, you can give your application to a lot of consultants are there, CA is there, see companies secretaries are there. They will help you in forming a legal entity, a legal private limited company, LLP, or your partnership. If you are going with a partnership, you have lot of restrictions. LLP has a lot of restrictions. It is advisable to go with private limited for the startups, because when you want to raise the funds, if it is a private limited, you will be having a lot of opportunities. You can give your equity shares for the investors, venture capitalist, angel investors. So minimum it should be a private limited. In case of your proprietorship, partnership, otherwise your LLP, there are a lot of restrictions. Nobody is interested to invest in your company because your company is not legally so strong where you can give the, later on if you want to grow big, you have to go for IPO, initial public offering. So only private limited companies have that schemes or have that opportunity to make into the bigger sector. So it is advisable to go for a private limited company instead of partnership, as well as the private our LLP. LLP is limited liability partnership. It is also partnership between two or three people who can self-funding or a bootstrap, that is FFF, friends, family, and fools can invest on your project, and you can get that is called a bootstrap funding. So then after funding resources, you have to find the funding. See, initially you can start with your own funding, self-funding or boost funding, or your startup funding is there. So venture capitalist. So you have to write the project plan, or you have to, then you can discuss with the investors if your project is good. See, one more thing is very, very important. Before discussing your idea, if you feel that, if your gut feelings are there, yes, this is a potential idea, it can be scalable and it can be technology driven. So you have to first protect your ideas with help of patents and IPR tools. If it is in the form of, in the field of innovation, you have to protect it through patents. If it is any product or any services, it has to, see, trademark is very, very important for the startups. You have to create your trademark, you have to get your trademark registration. If any innovation is there, patent registration, copyrights, geographic indication, all these are very, very important. These are the assets, intangible assets for the startup company. It's very important. Then next comes your startup sales and marketing. See, you have to hire the sales and marketing team, or invite them as a co-founder who can take up the marketing activities. That is the best way. Initially all are struggling for the funds, so like-minded people, you can invite your friends or your own people who are interested to join with you as a co-founders, and you can take a lead who will take care of the sales and marketing. You have to do the competitor analysis, market analysis. See, you can't price it very high or very low. If you price it very low, then you will be in loss. If you price it very high, there is a market competitors will be there. So your pricing plays very, very important role for the startups, because we are not going in a massive production, so that we have to play very critical steps with the thin margin initially when your products are good. See, we should not run behind the investors. As a startup, we have to run behind the customers. Customers are the kings. If the customers start taking your products repeatedly, then investors will run behind you to invest with your company. So we should make a strategy that startup should run behind the customers, not behind the investors. They will follow you. Next is break-even point. See, minimum it will take 2 to 3 years. 3 years to attain your break-even point. Break-even point is nothing but a no profit, no loss. Your things are running. Whatever you are getting, whatever it will be used for your expenses, day-to-day expenses. So that is called as break-even point. And 1,000-day survival. See, any startup or any company, any venture, 1,000 days, that is approximately 3 years, is our testing time. You have to survive. Then only will become a successful startups, and you can reach to unicorn, and your company will be evaluated as $1 billion. Then you can reach the unicorn stage. So it's very important to have a multiple like-minded people with the startups. So growth, how we can make it scalable, introduce segments, complete. See, when your product is in the online market, it is your responsibility. Any type of complaints, any type of returns, you have to address it very, very properly. That creates a lot of impact on the customers. If you address that, is you have to address at the earliest. If any response or any query is there, you have to address it. If any your product damage or product complaints, take the product and give the fresh product to them. Keep the customers happy. Customers are happy means they'll refer to n number of people. It is a word of mouth. Okay, that is how the online market is growing very, very big. So we have to market compliance, anything sustainability, marketing and advertisement, investment. See, when you grow big in time of advertisement, and ad cost will be more. Marketing, advertisement, and distribution cost will be around 70%, and 30% will be your manufacturing and other costs. So instead of investing so much on this marketing and advertisement, so online platforms are there, Meesho platform, so many has created. See, Amazon is nothing. They have created only a platform. You have to take your products, give your commission to them, then market the product. They will be the people who have created the platforms. Online platforms will be always under profit. The people who want to market there, they are always at the high risk. We don't know whether the sales will happen or not. We have to pay them the commission, whatever we have the agreement, initial agreement. Next, please. So, what are the different type of registrations we can start for the startups? It may be partnership, private limited, and LLP. The most advisable is private limited company. It can grow to the bigger levels, and lot of benefits are there from the government as well as from the investors in terms of security. Lot of changes. Even we can go for IPO when we are having the good transactions or good market sales, so we can scale up our company very easily. Next, please. So, what are the opportunities for startups? See, where we should get an idea. Convergence of systems, try to solve the problem or issue, daily usability, customer convenience, government focus. Now, a lot of schemes, a lot of government projects, they are funding for waste management, e-waste management, pollution, employment, skill development, audience, and you have to track that where the investors want to put their money, or the audience they want to put money on the share markets, other things. So you have to observe very, very keenly what the society needs, what they are struggling. So if I whenever something new, it should be need should be there, and people should be ready to take your product or service. Then only your product or service will be valuable, and it can be scalable model should be there. Next slide. Next. Yeah, see, you should know how to connecting the dots. It's very, very important. See, people have certain skills, and skills and interest are very, very important. If your skills are different and you are working in a different area, you can't do more things. Are the genuine, you can't give your complete 100%. Even you are also not satisfied, but what you love and what you are good at, both should be same. Then only you can do many things. Otherwise your growth will be more when you love the job and do the job. Majority of the jobs what we get now is very difficult. When you complete your any degree or PG, you will find a job. 90% of the jobs in the market whether you like it or not, it since they pay you, you have to do whatever they say. It is said that salary is the bribe given to the employees to forget their dreams. Salary is the bribe given to the employees to forget their dreams. If you have big dreams, with this salary and all, you can't do anything. See, when you work for others, they know how to leverage your skills, your time. Accordingly, they will pay you the salary. So you can't make your dreams big. So you are working for others. So if you have a big dream, even if you struggle in the initial days, start your own things. It may be startup, anything. So be your own owners. See, definitely lot of responsibility. Anything comes with your entrepreneurship is a dynamic thing. It has multiple meanings, other things. So first you take the responsibility, whatever may come. So difficulties are the great teachers. So you learn. It is a process. Entrepreneurship, startup, all these are a process. It takes time, minimum 2 to 3 years. You should have patience. So it is said that patience is a bitter plant which gives a sweet fruit. If you want fruits later, you should have patience. So then only you can do big things. So see why they will pay. It is said that how to find my passion. What is your skill? What is your interest? What you love? What you are good at? Business. Why customers should pay you? If your product is good, if your service is good, they will pay you happily. Or once you can sell it, but repeated order should be there to grow big. Job, why your employer should pay you? You are giving your skills and time to him, so he is paying you. Are you solving a pain point? See, if you are helping him to solve his problems, then only they will take your product or your employer will pay you the salary. See, what business should be there? It should impact on health, well-being, work-life balance, sense of accomplishment, gratitude, sense of creating value, and social responsibility. See, if you want to work for money, be in the job. If you want to be happy or if you want to take risk and move on, be on the other side. So you should select a field very early at the early stage. When you have a vast experience in the industry for 20-25 years or 15-20 years, you are used to that. You want only the comfort zone. You want to go to the office, do whatever is there, and do 5 days work and 2 days enjoyment. So then that only will be busy and you don't have any time to think of other things. So think before you act. So think twice and take a decision. Don't wait for big things to happen. See, future nobody knows, but you have to create your own future. So it is in your hand. You have to take a decision and you have to move on. Next slide, please. See, for the circle, said that what you love plus what you are good at. If you do that, you will be successful. What you love plus but what you are not good at, your success will be. But you can learn the skills. Okay, but what you don't love, but what you are good at, it's of no use. If you don't like to work or you will get be bored very soon. So what you don't love plus you are not good at, don't do that. Okay, it's as simple as that. You can take a decision. So how to start a startup? So what are the things you have to check it while doing all these things, doing the market? Okay, very see how to start to live in the future. Okay, first you have to think of the ahead of the time to about your idea and validate next 5 years whether your idea the product is valuable. Then only it is successful model. And you see that what is missing in the world, what the world is requirement is there. Based on that only you select and project or idea where it can be converted into product or service to the public. Then write it down and bounce on your ideas around. Write it down your project plan, what you are doing, and how it can be executed. Make a prototype. Prototype means make the sketch of your project, how it is working, how it is advantageous, whether it can be linked to the technology, whether it can be driven by technology in the future. If that is there, definitely your model is good, and discuss this model with, show your prototype to 100 people. One more thing is very, very important. Before showing to 100 people, protect your IPR, it patent it. Your innovation is good means protect yourself through patent. Nowadays, Indian government has given a lot of initiatives, and the fees is 80% less for patent protection for the startups, and fast track approvals will be given, and approvals directly, and lot of consultants, your patent agents, lot of people are assisting to complete your process, and it is the process fees will be taken care of with the government. That is how startups are coming up with lot of efforts. Is even government is also doing lot of efforts to bring up the startups. See, the main agenda of startup is to build multiple companies where we can create employments. That is the main reason behind this Startup India entire scheme. Then iterate on the prototype. Then see, when you think, when you show to 100 people, they'll give suggestions. Some people may give genuine suggestions. Whatever they give, take it in the positive way. Rework on your protocol, change a little bit, whatever is required. Then you have to approach to a co-founder who can help you in digital marketing, who can help in technology development. So instead of hiring people, search as a friend or a technical people who are interested, like-minded to join you as a co-founder. Then you can take it to the next level. See, one is good in R&D, one is good in technology, the other person may be good in marketing and sales. So all are required to run a business. So try to have a co-founder. So then register your company and split your equity. Initially, you may be two people. If you want to take one more co-partner, you have to split your equity or the shares to the other person also. Looking for funding and building version. See, lot of funding agencies are available now. It may be seed funding is available from the central government and the state government, and your venture capitalists are there, angel investors are there. Many type of funding is there. If, and don't be hurry to take lot of funds in the initial days. It is a funding and investment is a burden in the initial stage. Prove yourself that your idea, your technology is working, then protect it through the patent, then you approach to the people. At that time, you have a good stand. When you get a patent for your product or your process, that will be very good, excellent. You have a lot of valuation will be there in the market. Then launch your products when it is ready. Then take the feedback from the people, respect it. If people are liking and coming back to product, then you are in the right process. If they are not liking, if you have a lot of feedback is not good, rework on it and launch it once again. So with this growth rate, the at a growth rate of 5% per week, it has, but it is very tough to say. But some people have proved that they can grow by 5% every week and keep growing for next 4 years, and that the rate you will reach will be 25 million users. See, nowadays network and the customer database is the asset. People who are having this Meso and Amazon, they are not having any products. They have the customer database and the platform. People will come to their platform and sell to the n number of customers, to their existing customers. That is how the business will run. Now, business or selling is very, very easy. A lot of platforms are available. No need to make your own. Don't reinvent the wheel, or mingle with the people who are having the like minds and start the things. It's very easy to start a business at the current scenario. A lot of information is available, lot of marketers, e-commerce platforms, so many things are available. See, it is not, don't go with the old traditional model of distribution, retailer, this thing. No, direct B2C. That is the through online platforms or e-commerce marketing, through social media marketing, you can do wonders. Only one thing, your product or service should be of quality, and it should be useful and need of the hour. Then only will be successful. Only startups are our innovators idea is, we have to take such an idea which is required for the society and the world, then will be successful. Yeah. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah. See, what are the IPR benefits for the startups? See, India has given 80% reduction in the tax and fast track process for the patent approval, and it will give facilitate all type of assistance for patent filing. Next, please. See how IP will increase the market value. See, when you have the patent in your name, company name, your company valuation will be more. So exclusive rights can be given to others. It can be licensed to other people. Cross licensing, you are using your intellectual property rights. So IP rights enhance the value of a company in the eyes of the investor and other financing people. So in the event of sales and merger, if you want to merge or you want to sell your company, these IP assets can provide an extremely valuable tool for bargaining the price of your company. Next, please. Then Government of India initiatives for promoting patent filing. See, lot of patent filing. All the startup will get 80% of the fees reduction in the all patent applications, and there are lot of reimbursement for IPR filing expenses for MSME. If your company is registered with MSME Startup India, you will get lot of benefit from the government. There is lot of tax benefit also, so which can, and your application will be viewed through fast track application of patent. These are a lot of benefits given to the startups in India recently. So after 2016, many startups are coming in India. That is why India is in the third stage. It is the hub for startups. Yeah, next please. How to, how your patent support inventors? See, attract investors, then your triggers your innovation, ease policy making, and limit the competition. These are the advantage of all these things. Yeah, next please. What are the benefits of trademark? See, first register your company, have a logo, and get the trademark. That is your logo. That is your identity in the entire world. It's very, very important. First and foremost thing, what you have to do after registration of your company, first you have to get the trademark. If your idea is novel and inventive, get the IPR, that is patent. These are the valuable assets for a startup companies. We have to, legally we should be very, very strong, and documentation should be very proper to do all these things. Next, please. Yeah. What are the steps for registration, startup registration in India? There are very few steps. We can go to the next slide. I think time is very less. Just I will see. These are the documents required for startup registration in India. Director's profile, PAN card, written. You should have our own official website. Then ROC, company registration certificate, details of trademark, and article of association, NDA with the, see, this NDA is very, very important, non-disclosure agreement. See, one case, one recent update I'll tell you. See, in few colleges, the co-authors, group of 2-3 people have invented new things. When a lot of disputes are there, they were revealing all the information to the other people. So that is, you have to protect your idea. You have to have a non-disclosure agreement. When you are working with group of people to come out with a novel product, you should have a non-disclosure agreement. Nobody should disclose your secrecy or the information to the others. And even you should have the profit sharing out of that innovation. So that those things are very, very important. They even, if some employees are working with you on any novel project which are about yet to patent, you have to have the employee contract and offer letters. In that, you should have a non-disclosure agreement. Whatever you are doing in a company, it should be secret. You should not reveal to any other things. That is why even during the employment, they will sign away any type of non-disclosure agreement where any type of patents, details, whatever is there, you are working in a company, it should be the asset of a company. It should not be disclosed. Even you should have a shareholders agreement, bylaws, intellectual property agreements, all those things. You have a founder and co-founder agreement, and even the business plan. See, founder, co-founder, if one person is aggressive and working and the other founder, co-founder is not working, means nobody is interested to do. In such case, you should have the proper demarcation. What is his roles, responsibilities, and what is your profit share, what, how much you have to invest. Everything should be clearly written in the founder and the co-founder agreement. Business plans, everything should be legally documented. Then only you have the rights to claim if something goes wrong. Yeah, next please. See, what are the benefits of startups? There is cost reduction in the IPR section, and fast track approval is there. We can apply for tenders. See, in the earlier case, only people who having big facilities GMP facility. After 3 years only, they can enter into the tender. No, now even startups, if they have a good products without showing any documentation with the Startup India certificate and Make in India certificate, we can approach the government for tenders. That is the beauty of the Startup India. They are giving a lot of benefits and options to the new startup companies. That is why a lot of people are interested in doing this one. There is a tax and exemption, increase in network option. They will connect you to a lot of investors, lot of incubation centers, simple exit process, state process of registration, direct funding access, time saving, government funding opportunities are there, and various other government schemes. This is how they have given a lot of benefits to the startup companies. Next, please. This is very, very important. We came to the last part of the presentation. Legal and ethical aspects we have to follow if you want to run a successful startup companies or any type of companies. We have to follow. Startup company should be legal. It may be private limited, LLP, or partnership. If it's a partnership, it has to be registered. Private limited company, we should have minimum 2 directors or partners, and best valuation share can be allowed for the private limited. It should be registered under Company Act and ROC, Register of Companies. Then LLP, if there is loss or wind up, valuation, share, security will not be there for LLP. If it is a partnership, valuation, share, and security not possible for the uh, partnership companies. And the startups, see, if the turnover is less than 25,000, sorry, 25 CR, the company can enjoy the tax benefits for the 3 years. Next, please. See, entity must work on innovation, development, improvement of process and services. Any startup should work on this area. Company formed by split, merger, reconstruction is not a startup. Startup must follow the following rules: state insurance policies, government dispensaries, provident fund if you have more than 20 employees, till 20 lakh, no GST for service, till 20 lakh of the turnover, no GST for the manufacturing units, and IT tax exemptions will be there for 3 years from the date of incorporation. Then we have to follow the Shop Establishment Act. We have to pay the professional tax. How to raise funds? We should have a business plan, idea, self fund, that is bootstrap. You can take funding from your family, friends, and the fools. And then before approaching any fund, we have to do. We have to do the SWOT analysis. That is strength, weakness, opportunity, threat analysis. We have to do the market research. Crowdfunding is also there. It is also nothing but IPO. But when you go to IPO, you should have sufficient models and revenue generation will be there. Before that, also you can go for friends and colleagues who are ready to invest. That is also called as crowdfunding. Invention to consumers, angel investors are there, venture capitalists are there for funding all these startup companies. Next, please. Bank loans are there, equity shares, debenture shares. Ministry has allotted, central government has allotted 10,000 crores for the startups. Even incubators are there. It is directly funded by the state government and the central government. They will also help in funding if you go with a proper idea and your pitch deck. So, what are the benefits given to the startups? Income tax exemption for the 3 years, exemption on capital gain. If the startup suffered a loss, if you want to close within 90 days, it can be closed very easily without any legal complications. Then pay solvency or bankrupt for the startups, government will be there to support you for the initial days. Next, legal compliance, proper documentation, annual general body meeting should be here held every year. Your objectives and progress you have to match as per your MOA and AOA objectives which are mentioned in the during the registration of your company. Board directors meeting should be there every quarter. Appointment of the auditor, e-forms you have to fill, annual returns you have to file to the government. Even shareholders meeting or board of directors should be held in the office every year. Yeah, next please. LPP, they say LLP, limited liability compliance. Form 8 is mandatory. Statement of accounts we have to file before every 30th May or later by 30th October. We have to give the statement of accounts to the government. Tax-based compliance. First 3 years, 100% tax benefit. Even IPR, intellectual property rights, trademarks, geographic indication, patents, copyrights. You have to renew it every year. Whenever it's required, we have to renew it. If you won't renew it, it will be lapsed. So you can't claim your own intangible properties. IPR cannot be claimed. So You have to renew all these things on time. So better you should hire a, or you should be associated with the CA and company secretaries who will take care of all those activities to run your company smoothly. Next, please. Labor laws. See, when your company is having more laborers, you have to follow all the labor laws, industrial disputes, trade union act, construction work, industrial employment standing order. That is, working time should be not more than 8 hours. If you they work more than 8 hours, you have to pay the OT. What time they have to come, what time they have to go, time in, time out. Then interstate migration of the workforce, gratuity should be paid to the people after 5 years, after 5 years, contract order, provident fund, and employment scheme. Because no, we have to do all these things to run the company safely. Next, please. Business ethics, responsibility towards customers, interest of customers, feedback should be mandatory, people should be happy, employees are very important, we have to pay them timely salary, resolve the problems at the earliest, duty towards the environment, we have to take care of the environment, we should not do undue pollutions or without taking the KSPC Karnataka State Pollution Control Board or Central Pollution Control Board. We have to take their permission and we have to do the research activities. What are things? See, they will permit to use certain type of chemicals which can be drained in the your sewage. So otherwise, it should be discarded in a different way. There are multiple private uh, people are there who will discard your industrial wastes. Permission from the authorities. If you want to market your food products or beverages, nutraceuticals, you have to take a food standard safety authorities license, which is very, very mandatory. You can't do without those licenses. Next. Duties towards the community, not harmful to the people. You should give education. And when the company is grown big, more than 100 crore, 10% of the profit should be spent in the CSR, that is company social responsible activities. You have to give education to the poor people, NGO funding, orphanages, working towards betterment of the society and other charity works. So these are all comes under the company acts, and these are all our legal and ethical duties of a startups or the any entrepreneurs. We have to do all these duties. Next, please. Shareholders. See, when the investors are there, we have to take care of the shareholders, training and education to the employees, leadership competition, make in India, finance licenses, no sales of counterfeit or near expiry products, must sell genuine products. You should have legal and professional ethics. You should hire or you have to associate with the company CAs, chartered accountants, company then company secretaries and other team to take care of your company's legal activities. So otherwise you will be in a problem. So handling the problem, instead of that, we should have a separate team of all these people. Yeah. See, what are the 15 big mistakes? This is the last slide. 15 big mistakes of the startups. Not making the deal clear with co-founders. See, if you take your friend as a co-founder or your relatives as a co-founder, and if you tell, if you won't write down the what is the equity or the shareholding pattern, it will become very, very difficult game. When a company is growing big, it should be written NDA and clear cut shareholding pattern should be there. Don't believe anyone. In a business, it is a mandatory document. Not starting the business as a corporation or LLC. See, you have to, if the company is growing big, private limited is the best option you have to start with, not with a partnership, not with your LLP. Mistake three, choose a company name that has trademark. See, you have immediately after registration of a company, you have to have your trademark registered, domain name, problems, other issues. Mistake four, not complying with security laws when issuing stocks to family or friends. See, these legal documents should be very, very clear when you go for the startups or the big companies. Number five, not adequately taking into account important tax considerations. You have to pay the tax in time, not having right legal counsel, not maintaining proper corporate or HR documentation. These are very, very important. See, HR documents are very important. When you hire the people, if something goes wrong, your company is responsible during the working hours. You have to pay the insurance, you are liable. So proper legal documents, if they are on leave, when they are coming, everything you all punch in, punch out, time in, time out, all these things, records are very, very important for the defending any type of legal issues. If something goes wrong, your HR department has a huge responsibility and role to play in. So that is why you should make all these things in the proper way. Next, last slide. Yeah, mistake number 8, not determining which permits, licenses, registrations will be needed for a business. See, without license, if you sell any food substances, any beverages, any eatables, your FSA people will come and catch you, and they will ban your products and they'll seize your products. Don't do all those things. They're not carefully considering intellectual property issues. If you are making a patented product, it will be legally wrong. You should not do that. Not with a great contract. 11, having good terms and use the agreement of privacy policy of your website. See, during your office hours, your website should not be used for other personal or other type of works. Not using good form of employment agreement, offer letter while hiring. See, while hiring any employees, we should have a NDA, non-disclosure agreement, that if they are working in a company, they should not leak out your secret projects or any type of work to the other people or other competitor companies. That should be very, very mandatory. Then you are asking interview questions that are prohibited by law. You should not ask any personal things, or which is in the company act they given all the rules regulations we have to follow strictly. Not taking prior steps to firing an employee. See, you can't fire employee as it is. See, India has a lot of rules regulations. In for that sake only, it is said that for everything, any mistake is there, then only you can take up all these things. So you have to be very careful and you have to follow all the rules regulation to run a successful company. Yeah. I think this is my last slide. So with this, I'm concluding my session. So if any questions are there now, we can discuss it now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable time, experience, and information with us. I'm sure the participants, along with being introduced to the startup culture, have also gained a better insight into the legal and ethical aspects of the same, and also have learned more about the benefits that the government of India provides through Startup India. We will now have a Q&A session, and Dr. Sangamesh will now address your questions. Our first question is from Mrunmay Joshi. Can a single product made by any M.Pharm or PhD student be used to convert it into a startup concept?
See, you are working in a college. Your college is the applicant. Whatever you do in the college, whatever guide, all are involved. Your M.Pharm project or PhD project, which are done in the education institutions, it is not your property. So you can go with the college as the applicant, along with your guide as the co-applicants. As the co-authors and the co-applicants, as the principal inventor, maybe you, but you should go as a group, not as individual. You can't take it, but if you want to take it, you have to take with the permission from the institution. That way is also possible, where we have the profit sharing ratio and the benefits can be shared in terms of royalty. Yeah.
Our next question is from Mansi Sawan. How to obtain startup funding or capital? Are there any legal requirements while looking for this funding?
Yes, you have to register your company first in private limited or LLP partnership. Then you have to write a project to the incubator center or the startup seed funding is there. You have to write your project. You have to write a problem and what way you are solving it. So whether it is scalable and it is having the application or the society or the world needs your innovation, then only it will be funded. So startup funding, getting funding is very, very easy and lot of options are there. See, even this startup India, they have multiple schemes. Maybe DIBP is there. If you get a startup India certificate, definitely there are multiple schemes. One or the other schemes will be funding you. It is 100%. It's very easy now. Only you should take a decision and you have to move on in the right direction. Yeah.
So we have our next question from Nazish Khan. What is the difference between partnership firm and LLP, and which is preferable among these two?
See, these two are a bit dangerous only when you go to the bigger way. When you go, see, these two partnership means only two. Any two family members can be a partnership. and it should be registered with the court of law, and it should be notarized everything. Then you can't go for any shareholding patterns, any debentures, and no investors are interested in investing in the partnership companies, because you can't give your share that one. There is no uh, legality from the government, and there are not of law, very less filings or requirements from the government. Partnership firm is the simplest thing what you can do immediately, but later on lot of issues will be raised. That is why from the beginning we have to, later on we can convert partnership to LLP to private limited, we can convert it. When you think we are going in the right direction, you want to move in the big way, convert yourself, upgrade your company to the next level. LLP is a limited liability partnership. See, if two partnership, I will invest 50 lakh, will invest 50 lakh, or another person, if you want more funding, you can take one more person who can invest another 50 lakh. So there will be limited liability partnership. You are liable if anything goes wrong, loss is there. The partners who are invested the money, those people are responsible, not the government. But in case of private funding, it's very easy, but lot of, it is a complex process. We have to follow all the rules and regulations of the Ministry of Commerce, and then the Ministry of Company Affairs, ROC filing. But it is the safest mode when you want to go for investors, when you go for equity sharing, when you go for IPO. That is very best option.
We have our last question for this afternoon. Is it advisable to have a company secretary or chartered accountant be a part of the startup?
See, any one person, they will do the same thing, because see, company secretary is the person who will conduct this AGM and all those things. This annual general body meetings and board of director meetings. Any one person can do the things. If it is a big company, see, initially startup companies, you have to go it as a parallelly, they will support you every year, whatever the work they will do. No, but it is advisable to go with anyone, not a big thing, because no, they will do the same work almost. But chartered accountant keeps mainly on the accounting part, and company secretary keeps the mainly the company legalities part will be taken care of with the company secretary. Anyone is fine initially. Later on, when the company grows big, when it go for IPO, we should have both. Or initially, you can start with any part-time chartered account also for the startups. That is advisable. Yeah. Any other questions? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can. We have now reached the conclusion of our session, but before we conclude, I'd like to invite Mr. Pratik Parvez, sir, Assistant Professor of the Department of Pharmaceutical Chemistry, to kindly deliver the vote of thanks.
Yes, hope I'm audible, Aaron.
Yeah.
Firstly, a big thank you to Dr. Sangamesh for joining us today and giving his valuable time for a very important session about the legal and ethical aspects of a startup. Thank you so much, sir, firstly, for joining with us.
Thank you.
And I would also like to use this opportunity to give the vote of thanks. For firstly, our respected principal, Professor Supriya Shidhe, Madam, our distinguished speakers for the day, Dr. Rahul Kapoor and Dr. Sangamesh Puranik, the president of our institution Innovation Council, Dr. Mushtaq Sheikh, and all the staff members and all our most valued delegates. I feel honored and privileged to propose the vote of thanks on this occasion. I present this vote of thanks on behalf of VS College of Pharmacy and the entire organizing committee of Institution Innovation Council. I would like to thank our trustee, Sri B.L. Bulaniji and Professor Jharna Das Madam for their constant motivation. I sincerely express my gratitude to Principal Madam Dr. Supriya Shidhe, who is a perfect guiding force and a true leader for all of us. I'm extremely thankful towards the speakers for today, Dr. Rahul Kapoor and Dr. Sangamesh Puranik, for finding out time out of their busy schedule and sharing their knowledge with all of us. An event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling weeks ago. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very proactive and dedicated staff of our institution. I express my thanks to our entire team of IIC, the president of our IIC, Dr. Mustaq Sheikh, and my colleagues, Dr. Chatali Surve, Mrs. Prachiti Aire, and Dr. Anand Chintakarindi. Success of any session depends upon the participating delegates. I wish to express my deepest sense of appreciation to all the delegates. I also thank to those whom I might have missed or forgotten to mention. I hope all of you and many more future viewers will gain some benefit from Westcop's humble attempt to serve the field of education and share and spread the knowledge to many more. So thank you all again for joining for today. And for more updates and our upcoming webinars and workshops, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can also find us on our LinkedIn page, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages. Thank you to one and all, and have a good evening. Over to you, Aaron.
Before you leave, dear delegates, kindly fill the feedback form, the link of which has been provided into the chat box. With this, I now conclude this session. Have a good afternoon and a good evening. Once
Thank you.
again, the link has been provided in the chat box.